I'm John Ball. This is my beautiful wife, Wynn. We live in San Antonio, Texas. And in 2015, I took a 2,683-mile walk across the United States, beginning in San Diego, California, and I finished my walk in Daytona Beach, Florida. F-16. His buddy's out there somewhere, probably. Wynn and I got married very young, and after graduating from college, I'd never been in an airplane, never flown an airplane. I'd never even bought a ticket and ridden on an airplane. And so I went down to the recruiter's office in our hometown of Paris, Texas, and applied to go to Air Force pilot training. Wynn was very supportive of that, and off we went to the Air Force. 26 years later, I retired as a colonel, having been a pilot for most of that time, including a 2-year stint as Air Force II pilot for Vice President Gore and Vice President Cheney. Throughout my Air Force career, I'd always been an avid exerciser. I'd go out jogging 6, 8, 10 miles a day. But towards the end of my career, I was approaching 50 years old. My knees started hurting pretty bad. Went to the doctor. The doctor said, you really need to lay off the running for a while. So I started walking. The very next day, I started walking for exercise, and I never stopped walking. So I was just honestly out walking one day, and it just crossed my mind. I wonder what it would be like to walk a long distance. Specifically, I immediately came to my mind, what would it be like to walk all the way across the country? After I retired from the Air Force, I went to work here in San Antonio with a government contractor. And at that point, Wynn and I were able to live off of my Air Force pension, but we wanted to build our retirement home here in San Antonio. With the exception of the savings that we did, we put everything else towards paying off our retirement home. After I retired, I immediately started on this walk. The walk ended up being 2,686 miles in 170 days, from March 1st to August 17th. Well, there are a couple of things that I had to consider. Number one, I had to be in good enough health to be able to walk that kind of distance. It's pretty grueling walking 170 days without a lot of rest. But the other thing is economically I had to be able to do that. And that all tied into being debt-free. We cash flowed the entire trip, and the purpose of the trip was to create an endowed scholarship at my alma mater, Texas A&M. And because I had prepared financially to be able to go on the walk at my own cost, all the donations that came in went straight to the scholarship. There's a tradition at Texas A&M about the Aggie ring. We've had the same graduation ring for over 100 years. And so really it's a tradition, and it's an honor that all Aggies have to wear their Aggie ring. But not everybody can afford their Aggie ring when it's time for them to get it. 350 very generous people gave over $27,000 to establish the Walking Aggie Endowed Ring Scholarship, so that each year one male student or 2 female students receive their Aggie ring as a result of the scholarship and my completion of the Coast to Coast Walk. I got more than my share of input from people telling me that it was dangerous, that there were a lot of mean people out there, and that it was just generally a bad idea to go walking on my own without any help or support for 6 months. I will tell you that is the one thing that I learned throughout this walk, was how kind people are. In 6 months, I never had one single incident where I felt threatened in any way by anyone. I walked into gas stations, I walked into cafes, I was greeted on the shoulder of the road with people offering me rides and water and food. The best experience out of the whole trip was just how kind people were to me.
It was a relief, because as the family, we were very worried about his safety, and he just had a great experience.
I had a very detailed plan for the walk. I knew where I was supposed to be every day. With that in mind, we booked a Disney cruise that left the afternoon of August the 17th. So I knew before I ever started on March 1st in San Diego that I had to be in Daytona Beach, Florida on August 17th, or that cruise ship was going to leave without us.
The whole family flew out to San Diego to see him off, and it was really kind of sad because we were all together and about to go to Disneyland, and here he was all by himself going to walk away. But anyway, we could talk every day. Just very seldom did we not speak every day. So we kind of kept up with him and knew that he was okay, and it just all worked out good. And then we all went, including my mom on the other end, and took a Disney cruise. So he better finish on time.
We were debt-free. We were millionaires by then. And that just freed us up to be able to really go out and live life the way we had planned for a long time. You know, we go to Europe and tool around Europe with our backpacks for weeks at a time. We have a Gullwing motorcycle with a little trailer we pull right behind it. We just got back from a trip to Canada. And then in April, we're going to visit Eastern Europe. So we really like to travel, and being debt-free has enabled us to do that.
And that was something we always hoped we could do.
And now we're living it. Being debt-free, before I started this walk, it really enabled me to be able to pull this off. We saved our entire Air Force career, and we saved and were able to pay off our house and become debt-free the month that I started on the walk. And it really just lived out the philosophy that if you live like no one else, you can live and give like no one else.